Here's a video of our 7-page report. What we get is we get a score that tells overall performance. We also go over power, which would be the jumps, strength, which would be the range of motion type exercises, squats, lunges, spine range of motion, etc. And then we also look at injury risk, which tells us asymmetry, muscle imbalance, joint restriction, balance, valgus, things of that nature. And really what the whole idea of the report is to compare you against you. So we want to see if something is able to perform well on one side, then we have the idea that it should be able to perform well on the other side. So if there's any type of asymmetries happening in the body, we want to be able to find those and address those through the objectivity of the report. And what we'll look at is we look at range of motion through movements at each one of the joints. We look at specific torque activation, so all these percentages would be based off the client's body weight. And then we also look at when do these force numbers happen pertaining to the joint range. So this would be 45% or a 45-degree angle at the right hip would be when this 31.15% of force was being utilized. So you go really in depth into each movement in each joint, and then we'll keep on scrolling down to see all the different jumps. And even when we go into the single leg jumps, we're looking at how the ground reaction force is. So that's what this graph would be, how much max torque we're getting, and then each one of these lines is telling us when during the movement did they reach their max torque. So the orange line would be the knees, the green line would be the ankles, and the blue line would be the hip. That's why they have those colorings there, so we know again left torque max was here, orange torque max was here. So we can again see a lot of information about how force is being produced, which is a big part of both improving performance as well as reducing injury. We look at how the knee is moving, and if there's any potential valgus, you can see the difference between left leg and how well controlled that is in comparison to the right leg. And this is the tibia and the femur and how they're moving towards and away from each other. We look at how the squat is and the percent body weight shift that's going on, balance, how much movement's happening, range of different things within the lunge. We also look at the shoulder range of motion, abduction, internal external rotation, trunk range of motion, how are you doing in the lumbar spine, thoracic spine, and cervical spine, then also shoulder flexion extension. And we also at the end give an automatically generated page. It tells you how you got the score from your power, how you got the score from the strength, how you got the score from the injury risk, as well as where do you have the most amount of muscle activation and do you have any overactivation in the body.